Welcome to the Bard's College. I'm the headmaster here. How may I help you?
Always a pleasure to meet a prospective bard. You should be aware that many apply, but we accept very few people. When possible, we ask applicants to perform tasks the college needs completed. In this case, I do have a task befitting an aspiring bard. Alcemy has forbidden the burning of King Olaf, a festival put on by the Bard's College. We need to change her mind. To convince her, I want to read King Olaf's verse, a part of the Poetic Edda, the living history of Skyrim. Unfortunately, the verse was lost long ago. Yes, according to Giraud, our history's keeper, the portion of the Edda dealing with King Olaf might still exist in Dead Man's Respite. I need you to retrieve the poem. Not much, but as a bard, I find the whole affair depressing. There are no heroes in this war, no winners to be had, and no real conclusion. If you want something a bard can dig into, look to the dragons. 1,000 years from now, Skyrim will have changed rulers dozens of times, but the return of the dragons, that story is once in an era. Not much, to be honest. Their return was a shock to us all. Gerard Germain has some tomes about them in the library if you're interested. I think Giraud here would give you the best explanation of both it and the history of King Olaf's verse. You should speak to him about it. As you may be aware, Elisif's husband, High King Torrig, was recently killed. Elisif mourns her husband deeply, and she feels that a festival that burns a king in effigy is distasteful. I tried to convince her the festival is many centuries old and celebrates solitude, but I need proof. I believe King Olaf's verse will provide that proof. I wish you luck in finding the verse.
Good to meet a prospective bard. He's sending you after King Olaf's verse, then. That's good. We shouldn't leave it lying around now that I figured out where it is. The verse was Svafnir's contribution to the Poetic Edda, the living history of Skyrim. Each bard adds to the Edda in his or her time. And a very ancient one. The verse criticized the reigning King Olaf. He was so incensed the bard was put to death and all the copies burned. At least, that's what we thought until I translated some ancient texts a year or so ago. We now believe King Olaf buried the truth with the bard. If I'm right, Svafnir and King Olaf's verse lie in Dead Men's Respite, along with the burial chamber of King Olaf himself. Well, you've come to the right place. Hildy, what year did the Aldmeri Dominion...
I have
invade
faith
the Empire?
that you'll return with King
Good,
Olaf's
Hildy.
verse.
Soak in the lore.
I wish you luck in
Yorn,
finding the
what
verse.
happened during the Red Year?
Teacher. The
Morrowind
first is
suffered a
patience.
massive...
The second is a firm wooden stick for rapping knuckles.
Ardendel's Red Mountain erupts. Try to be precise. Remember, being a bard isn't just about the music.
I wish only to graduate and enroll with the Legion. My drums will lead our troops to victory. And why wouldn't I be? We sing tales of kings, queens, and their politics, 'tis true. But do you know who really makes history? The person who writes it. Farewell, stranger.
Youngest bard at the Bard's College, at your service.
Few can resist my charms. Even fewer are worthy of them.
I have faith that you'll return with King Olaf's verse.
My position, Dean of History, actually covers a wide range of subjects. I teach poetry, writing, history, and the finer points of court life.
hello. Just tidying up.
Oh, I'd get in trouble for that. It's not allowed. Besides, it's scary in there. Well, I suppose in that case it's okay to let you in. But only briefly. Be careful and come right back. Don't mess anything up while you're here. Are you my gallant hero? Have you come to whisk me away to a life of adventure and romance? I made a wish in the town well that a golden knight came to take me to his castle. Oh, does it spoil the wish if I tell?
Jarls come and Jarls go, but a good cook stays for a lifetime. And I'm a very, very good cook.
I swear to you, unnatural magics are coming from that cave. There are strange noises and lights. We need someone to investigate.
Then we will immediately send out a legion to scour the cave and secure the town. Hafengar's people will always be safe under my
Your
rule.
Eminence, my scrying has suggested nothing in the area. Dragonbridge is under Imperial control. This is likely superstitious nonsense.
Perhaps a more tempered reaction might be called for?
Oh, yes, of course, you were right. Falk, tell Captain Aldous I said to assign a few extra soldiers to Dragonbridge.
Thank you, Jarl Elisif. What about the cave?
I will have someone take care of the cave as well, Varnius. You can rest easy. You're dismissed.
I've got what I came for. I better get back to Dragonbridge. I've done my part. Dragonbridge will have extra guards. Falk Firebeard will find a way to take care of the cave. All right, then.
The Imperials are good for business, and business is good for Skyrim. Oh, most certainly. At least when Elisif herself asks. If you're inquiring whether we have concerns about her age and inexperience, let me put it this way. The Thanes have every confidence in General Tullius's leadership. I'm a Thane. In the future, you may want to gain that information before talking with someone. Risk of looking like an idiot and all that.
I must return to the court. They simply can't make do without me.
Do you have business with the court? You mean the Dragonbridge issue? I'll be honest with you. I was planning to let that go. Varnius is a bit jumpy at the best of times. There have been reports of weird happenings near Wolfskull Cave. Travelers disappearing, odd lights. I suspect wild animals, or perhaps bandits. I don't think it's worth our time with the war going on. But if you want to clear out the cave, I'll make sure you're repaid for your work. The cave has a bad history. Long ago, Potema the Wolf Queen used it for necromantic rituals. That's where it got the name. That was over 500 years ago. Nothing much down there now, but everyone's always convinced the cave is haunted. Of course he does. What sort of a question is that? Maybe you've been listening to Eriker. There's been loose talk among some of the Thanes, and I suspect he's the cause of it. You'll pay those rumors no heed if you wish to retain your welcome in this city. She may be young, but Elisif is the Jarl by right. And here in Skyrim, if nothing else, we respect the traditions of our fathers' fathers. You do well to remember that. That remains to be seen. By rights, she has a legitimate claim as High Queen of Skyrim. But we must have the support of the other Jarls for that claim to have any meaning. Should they accept her rule, we will have peace. Feel free to return to me with questions. The Blue Palace is an open forum.
Thane Bryling, at your service. I can always find time to share a word with a warrior.
If I needed something from you, you would know it. Nothing. I'm busy, and I don't like being bothered unless I'm expecting something from you. Oh, don't give me that look. Fine, I suppose I can find some menial task to set your mind on. We have something of a vampire problem. Bodies have been found with blood drained. I know of a den nearby you can wipe out as a precaution. I don't expect you to be capable of even that. I was, to my shame. The whole court was in attendance. I've seen much in my time, but that was a gruesome day. Because Ulfric needed a symbol. Someone he could defeat that represented the Empire. The White Gold Concordat, the banning of Talos worship. Toryg's father Islot had held Skyrim together for nearly 25 years. When he died, Toryg became that symbol. No, even after Islot died, the Moot voted to make Toryg High King of Skyrim. But Ulfric was at that Moot, continually talking about Skyrim's independence in terms just shy of treason. I don't think Ulfric knew how much Toryg respected him for that. If Ulfric had asked Toryg directly to stand up, to declare independence, Toryg might have done it. Because the Dominion is a sleeping beast that Skyrim cannot slay alone. Because many Nords are part of the Imperial Army even now. Because the food and resources we get from the Empire are important to our people. Because even if we can't openly worship him, Talos the God was once Tiber Septim the man, and this is his empire. And Toryg wasn't ready to let it fall apart. I was a member of the court during the reign of Toryg's father. It was Toryg who appointed me to the position. Very. I helped raise him. Oh, I could not have been more proud to see Toryg on the throne. He made a fine king. A fine king. I was a member of the court during the... I like to think I've aged well. I'm certainly wiser than I once was. And I know when one should speak, and when one should hold their tongue. I was too... Ulfric showed up at the Gates of Solitude, requesting an audience. We thought he was here to ask Toryg to declare independence. By the time we realized Ulfric was here to challenge Toryg, it was already too late. By Nord custom, once the challenge was issued in court, Toryg had no choice but to accept. Had he not, Ulfric would have had cause to call a new moot and a new vote for High King. Toryg had some martial training, of course, but it mattered little that day. When Ulfric's lips parted, when he unleashed the power of the Thu'um, that shout, that ancient and terrible tongue, ripped Toryg asunder. Vampires are clever hunters. More clever than you, definitely.
Please address all questions to the steward, Falk Firebeard.
If you have business, please see Falk Firebeard, my steward. It's quite fetching, actually. The craftsmanship is excellent. Oh, really? Well, you can tell them that I will be putting in a request for a few dresses quite soon. Because that's what traitorous cowards do when they desire power. Ulfric coveted the High King's throne. He thought he deserved it more than Toryg. And so he came before my husband and he shouted. With that terrible voice. Like something out of a legend. Or a nightmare. When Ulfric unleashed such fury, my husband, he simply ceased to be. That is all I will say. For it grieves me to speak of it. Not yet, no. Although it is true my husband Toryg was the High King, and I am his widow. Now is not the time to lay claim to such a title. This land is riven by war, and her people suffer for it. The Stormcloaks are a blight on Skyrim, and like any blight, must be purged. Only then will I take my rightful place as High Queen. A question I am all too familiar with. One my very Thanes ask often. They worry that Tullius is so focused on the war that he risks forgetting what's best for our people. The real irony is that, while General Tullius is certainly no Nord, the people of Skyrim would be lost without him. Trust is always difficult, especially for my people. Yet we must trust in Tullius's leadership. For what other choice do we have? Be well. Pray for Solitude and my husband.
If you're heading to the Blue Palace, you might want to rethink that outfit. Nothing at all. It's very nice. If you want something with a little more style, however, we could fix you right up. That's wonderful. You've done us a great service. As promised, the outfit is yours, and here's something for your trouble. Remember Radiant Raiment when you need a change of attire.
Got lots of things to take care of. What do you need something?
Ah, it's good to see a fresh face. You wouldn't have happened to come from Whiterun, would you? You got Aldous to tell you something. I knew you would. What did he say? I told her. I told her the Imperial army would kill her. That this was a war of Jarls and Imperial generals, and we had no part in it. She just wouldn't hear it. It was brave of you to come to me with this. I can't thank you for it, not for this. But you have done me a service. I hope your parents are proud of you. They have a... Well, hello.
If you ever want...
Divine smile on you, friend. Well, the Riverwood's agreeable enough, I suppose, for a Nord village.
Very good, sir. Of course. What room would you like me to furnish? Very good.
So there's beauty.
Of course. What? Very good.
All right, then. Maybe you've...
Of course. What room? Very good.
Farewell. If only Camilla shared my affections, or even knew about them. Farewell. What do you need?
They've stopped. What is it?
Hmm?
This is great! It's everything I could have asked for. I know it's not much, but I found a few little things. I put them in the chest in my room. If you see anything you want, take it. You've done so much for me, it's the least I could do.
Whoa!
Hey, Pa! Oh, wow! It was just sitting there? Wish I found it first. Hmm? Did you really build this house all by yourself? Wow.
Need something? Need something?
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard. Vampire hunters or something in the old fort near Riften. Might consider joining up myself.
What's the hurry? Let me know if you see anything you like.
I work for Bellathor.
Everything's for sale, Isn't it obvious? Why, the wonderful weather and hospitable people, of course. Not to mention my great fondness for dragons and petty political power struggles. But without a doubt, the most compelling feature of this frozen wasteland is the volley of inane questions leveled at me on a regular basis. Trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing.
do... I'm back.
Come by Bellathor's shop. Don't mean to be rude, but I'm too busy to talk right now.
Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler if you have any questions. What do you need, my friend? Of a sort. I don't have formal training in the Restoration School, but something just as good. Within these walls, I have all that I need to brew a potion for nearly any ailment. If I had a septum for every case of rock joint or whitbane I've cured since I opened this shop, I'd be a rich woman indeed. Why? Because I'm a proud citizen of the Empire? Because the Stormcloaks only want Nords in Skyrim? The Stormcloaks can rot in oblivion for all I care. I've lived in this city for 20 years. 20! You already know all the... Ah, so you're an alchemist then? Come back anytime if you need a remedy.
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. I'd take a look. Remember, I'll give you the best deals.
You know what's wrong with Skyrim these days? Everyone is obsessed with death.
What am I supposed to do? Never leave the house? You want that ending?
You're closing this stall, and that's final.
You want to give up now, out of fear? Is that what we're going to teach our daughter?
Mama, why are you and Papa fighting?
We're not fighting, we're just... Why don't I get you something to eat? Mama and Papa will talk later. I work silver, like my father.
Now here's a man I'm glad to see.
Oh, did you need something?
No, I'm not. Take a look. Come back whenever you need something.
I'm still here. What do you need to take? Let's go.
Break the law in Markarth, and it's off to Signified with you. I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brawls. Been too long since we've had a good bandit raid.